Hello, and welcome to Language Leap. I'm Emma, your guide to mastering languages, and joining me as always is John.
Hey, everyone! Today's topic is one I'm particularly passionate about: learning English by yourself.
That's right. A lot of people think you need expensive courses or a teacher to learn English, but with the right mindset and strategies, you can make amazing progress on your own.
And I'm proof of that. I learned English mostly on my own, and it's completely changed my life.
So stick with us as we share tips, tools, and stories to inspire your English learning journey. Why learn English by yourself? Let's start with the why. Why should someone learn English independently?
For me, it was about flexibility. I couldn't afford classes, so I had to get creative and figure it out myself. Plus, learning on your own lets you go at your own pace.
Absolutely. It also makes you more resourceful. When you take charge of your learning, you build problem-solving skills that can be applied to other areas of life.
And let's be honest, it's empowering to look back and say, I did this myself.
Couldn't agree more. But it does take discipline and consistency. So, if you're listening and thinking about starting this journey, stay committed. It's worth it. How to build a self-learning plan. Now, let's talk about how to do it. John, when you started, what was your first step?
I started with a goal. I asked myself, why do I want to learn English? For me, it was to get a better job. Once I had that, I broke it down into smaller goals, like improving my vocabulary or practicing speaking every day.
That's such an important step. A clear goal gives you direction. Then you can create a routine. Dedicate at least 20 to 30 minutes daily to learning.
And mix it up. I used apps for vocabulary, watched English movies, and listened to podcasts like this one.
Variety keeps things interesting. And don't forget about tracking progress. Keep a notebook or use an app to record new words, grammar rules, and milestones.
Yeah, seeing your progress keeps you motivated.
Here's another tip. Create a balance between the 4 skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. It's tempting to focus only on one, but they all support each other.
Exactly. For example, I noticed my speaking improved when I started listening to English songs and imitating the pronunciation.
Tools and resources for self-learners. Let's talk about tools. What are some of your favorite resources?
Oh, so many. For vocabulary, I loved apps like Anki and Memrise. They use flashcards and spaced repetition, which really helped me remember words.
Those are great. For listening practice, try podcasts or YouTube channels. You can start with subtitles and gradually wean yourself off them as you improve.
Exactly. And don't forget Netflix. Watching shows in English with subtitles helped me learn slang and natural expressions.
That's a fantastic way to pick up conversational language. For speaking, apps like HelloTalk or Tandem connect you with native speakers.
I used HelloTalk a lot. It's like having a pen pal, but in real time.
And if you're on a tight budget, there are so many free resources online. BBC Learning English, Duolingo, or even Instagram pages dedicated to English learning.
Right. But don't forget to practice writing, too. Keeping a daily journal in English or writing emails to yourself can be really effective.
Overcoming challenges. Learning by yourself isn't always easy. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced, John?
Motivation was a big one. Some days I just didn't feel like studying.
That's so common. How did you handle it?
I reminded myself of my goals, but I also made learning fun. For example, I'd play games like Scrabble in English or write silly poems using new vocabulary.
That's great advice. Another challenge is not knowing if you're improving. This is where recording yourself speaking or taking online quizzes can help you see your progress.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes. I used to worry about sounding silly, but I realized mistakes are part of the process.
So true. Perfectionism can hold you back. Celebrate small wins and keep going. Listener Q&A. Let's wrap up with some listener questions.
Here's one from Maria. How can I practice speaking if I don't have anyone to talk to?
Great question, Maria. One option is talking to yourself. Describe your day, your plans, or what you're seeing around you, in English.
I did that all the time. It felt awkward at first, but it really helped.
Another option is recording yourself and playing it back to catch mistakes. Or use voice recognition apps to practice pronunciation.
And don't forget about online language exchange platforms.
Absolutely. Here's another question from Ahmed. How do I stay consistent when life gets busy?
Start small. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day adds up over time. And make it a habit by tying it to something you already do, like listening to a podcast during your commute.
Great advice. Consistency beats intensity. And that's a wrap for today's episode. Learning English by yourself might feel challenging, but with the right strategies and a bit of creativity, it's completely doable.
Absolutely. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection. Keep experimenting and find what works for you.
If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend or leave us a review. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on learning languages.
Thanks for listening to Language Leap. Until next time, keep learning and stay inspired.